You know, we talked to Lonzo Ball earlier today. Listen, we know he's an elite point guard in terms of his passing ability. The pace at which he sees the game belies his age. He rebounds it with a high level from the point guard position. When I asked him what Luke's take and his take was on his shooting struggles, here's what he had to say.
He said just keep shooting. You know, he thinks it's going to fall, as do I. And he just said, you know, focus on balance. Right now he feels like I'm off balance when I'm shooting, kind of rushing it a little bit. So definitely going to focus on that tonight.
And at this point, teams know Lonzo likes to shoot the basketball after he's had it in a left-hand dribble, so teams are obviously pushing him to the right-hand dribble, which is an interesting thing. And, you know, he also talked a little bit about sort of finding that balance between being aggressive and assertive as a scorer and still taking advantage of his best skill. And, Jalen, I would ask you, you've played the point guard position in the league, as have you, Chauncey. What are you saying to that rookie about his shooting if you're coaching him?
I like what his coaching staff is telling him, DB, and that's a terrific question. The problem is it's a new era. It's a point guard-driven league where the best players, your primary ball handler, are 20-point scorers. Curry, Russell, Kyrie, who he has tonight, Damian Lillard, and John Wall. And so for a player who has a flawed jump shot, number one, that's what makes the game a lot tougher, when you can't dribble and when you can't shoot. And he also shoots 54% from the free throw line. So you're not going to be as aggressive because you don't want to get fouled. So this is going to be an issue, and I'm not surprised that it's happening at this point.
DB brought up something very interesting. And I've also been a young point guard in this league struggling from the field. But DB said one thing that's very interesting. He likes to shoot it when he has the ball in his left hand, which means he's been in the scouting report at this point. You're playing against these guys for the first time. Every single guy that you see, from Patrick Beverley to now Kyrie, you're playing against Dame Lillard. He's played against some tough guys. He's seeing them for the first time. Everybody guards you differently. So now it's on him to watch that film and to watch his opponents and see how they're guarding me and how am I going to be able to get my shot off.
I think eventually he'll fall into a comfort zone. I mean, you got to understand, he shot 41% in college from three. I know the college three is a little different from the NBA. The NBA is farther back. But the key in the NBA is to have an elite skill. And he does have an elite skill in his passing, his pace, and his finishing ability can get there being he's a big guard. Now, the key with his shooting is just keeping the defense honest. He doesn't have to be a great shooter, but if he can knock down a three here and there, you're going to keep the defense honest. Teams are going to go over the pick and roll instead of under, and that's all he needs because that's where he can use his size, his speed to get into the lane, and things will turn around for him. But if he can get to the point where he just constantly just don't give up on his shot, he'll make some if he just
so early. It's just so.
I was going to ask. Keep going to the gym, work on it. I mean, he has to get used to the pace, the athleticism of the players.
But I have to say this. The reason why we're having this conversation, the expectations need to come down a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, no doubt.
Like, this is the problem that the media has and that fans have. Like, I should never see a graphic with him next to Magic Johnson.
Who did that? Somebody did that.
Like on the
bar for Kyle Kuzma.
Correct. On the marquee, you make a great point. Lonzo Ball is the headline. Kuzma's the story.
Right.
He's 13th amongst rookies in scoring overall, but he plays the second most minutes. Do I think he's going to have a long career? I do. I'm rooting for the young man. I know he's dealing with a lot of distractions and expectations, but people need to tone it down just a little bit. This ain't the next Jason Kidd.
I have heard that a few times, though, haven't we?
They need to stop saying that.
But
it's not the next Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd locked down, played D, and never was nonchalant.
I mean, you're yelling at us like I had something to do with it. I didn't.
Didn't he?
Wait, if you're Kyle
100%.
Kuzma, though, are you sort of embracing that, you're under the radar getting work done while everybody's over here?
But I tell you what, Kyle Kuzma, he's a little under the radar, but not really. He's a Laker.
Oh, yeah.
And he's playing well. And if you're a Laker playing well and you're a rookie,
yeah, but we didn't call today Kuzma Wednesday.
People love you. No, we don't. Well, he doesn't have somebody in his household screaming for him all the time. So it's a little bit different. But to your point on comparing him to Jason Kidd, one of my heroes, one of the best players I ever played against, it's not fair.
I know why they compared him to Jason Kidd.
It's not fair.
Because they got the light skin?
They got the same skin tone.
Yeah, there's a lot of light skin.
They both
Thanks,
play
Paul.
That we're not comparing to
That's
Jason
about the only
Kidd.
thing they got in common, huh?
Oh, my goodness. Glad you're here.